What is your favorite holy crap this actually works trick? Someone posted on a thread a long time ago that in some older cars, turning your keys in the lock on the door and holding it in the unlocked part for 3 seconds will unlock all the doors in the car. This trick works on my car, and since my key dongle doesn't work, it's changed my life. Also turning it to unlock twice unlocks all doors in some models. Kinda niche, but I work as a production tech. One of the companies I work with has a few hog lighting consoles. These consoles sometimes don't want to boot up, and when I found myself in that situation, my coworker said, pick it up about 6 to 10 inches, and just drop it. I looked at him like he was crazy, because they're expensive, and he calmly says, just do it. So I did it, and fuck a duck wouldn't you know it, it worked, and continues to work with every hog I come across. That actually used to be the official tech support recommendation for the Apple III, if it didn't turn on. Link in description. Once upon a time, I had a customer with a Macintosh 128K who was called me with a problem. I was busy and promised to get there in the afternoon. She called me after lunch. I turned it upside down and shook it. Now it works fine. I assured her that's what I would have done, and I moved along. Cursing loudly makes some automated answering machines immediately go to customer service. I personally recommend fuck, but that shit also works as well. Laying on your left side can stop gastric reflux pain. The best way to get someone to elaborate without them feeling like you're questioning them or not believing them is just to repeat what they just said as a question. I'm going to the store. To the store? Yeah. I've gotta get some milk. Also a great way to make your roommates think you have a hearing problem. To make your roommates think you have a hearing problem? Yeah. I've gotta get some milk. I read a Night Times article years ago that said that people who constantly have twisted ankles actually just have very poor balance. The article recommended to stand on one leg for 1 minute then switch legs. Stand on one leg for 1 minute with your arms stretched out then switch, and lastly stand on one leg with your eyes closed then switch. I've had some really bad ankle sprains in the past, and one time even broke my ankle. I thought, a 6-minute exercise once a day. What do I have to lose? I haven't had an ankle sprain since, and it's been 10 years. Fun fact. It's actually kinesthetic and proprioceptive training. Your ankles get damaged when you sprain them, and can't off-check when it's not landing properly. If you want to step it up, try it on sand or grass. The uneven surface will challenge you further, preventing even more ankle sprains. I wish human comes with a manual. This is basically calibration. If you spill candle wax on a carpet, you can get it out by running an iron over it with a damp towel in between. I was so baffled I almost felt like spilling more wax. This will also get cut marks off of unfinished wood. Learned this lesson after accidentally emblazoning a beer pong triangle on my parents' kitchen table. Was told to put my hand on the bottom of the steering when backing a trailer, because then whichever direction you move your hand, that's the way the trailer goes instead of the opposite if your hand is on the top. Nuke a couple of potatoes and put them in your coat pockets. Aluminum foil cover optional. Foiler. Hand warmers that stay warm for hours. Bonus. You can eat them later. Aluminum foil hat optional. Put the tin foil on after taking them out of the microwave. And skip the free fireworks show. Sure. But, sure. The Dawn dish soap plus Vinegar cleaner really does work miracles. My shower has a tendency to get this grimy coating that doesn't scrub off easily. Using Dawn and Vinegar it comes right off no problem. This happened when I was a college student years ago in Cincinnati. Link in description. TL. Dr. A truck full of lard tipped over and shut down the main interstate through Cincinnati. They tried everything they could think of including industrial degreasers. Finally called Procter & Gamble to see if they had anything that would work. They sent a truck of Dawn. It worked. Wisecracks around headquarters such as open up the freeway by the crack of dawn. Lol. Had a parasitic drain on a truck and the fuse and relay panel was way up under the dash. I figured whatever was causing the drain would probably make the fuse or relay hot, so I shot the temperature gun at them all. Sure enough, one was 15 degrees hotter. Turns out the clutch for the ACC compressor was stuck on the whole time. That's a whole lot faster than pulling each fuse and retesting. Thank you for this. A really obscure tip: if you lose the sensor bar for your Wi-Fi, light 2 candles and place them where the sensor bar would be. It's finicky, but it works well enough to at least choose a game. How was this figured out? And how does this even work? All the Wi-Fi sensor bar is 2 eye beacons, so that the sensors in the remote can triangulate, so the candles give off similar eye noise which the remote can see. So the sensor bar doesn't provide any info back to the Wi-Fi, it's only plugged into the Wi-Fi for power. Correct. All the sensor work is handled by the Wi-Fi mote itself. My mind is exploding. I had really bad hiccups from drinking, so the bartender gave me limes with sugar and some sort of red liquid on them, and they instantly went away, and I felt like I had control over my life for a short moment. Bitters. I do it with a lemon, though, not a lime. Sauce. Am bartender. So you shake some bitters on the lemon, or lime then sprinkle with sugar, then bite it a la tequila chaser? Exactly. Listening to a song, while reading along to the lyrics, after it's been in my head all day to get it out. I don't even know how many times this has saved my sanity. Semicolon. A few add-ons. Wow, this got more upvotes than I thought it would. The reading along is just a way to stay concentrating on the lyrics/tuners. That's what makes the trick work. If this doesn't work for an instrumental, I guess just imagine it's the background track for your life and roll with it. IDK. Sometimes you're just fucked in the air by life. All you have to do is sing the end lyrics of the song, then it'll get unstuck. My mom told me this. She said the brain desires closure. Pressing your thumb to the roof of your mouth, and pressing your other thumb in between your eyebrows when you have a headache. It works for some people, me being one of them. And pressing on your taint and temple at the same time takes a screenshot of your current view. r/brand sentence. Read in a tween magazine, might have been American Girl or something similar, years and years ago. A tip to help you fall asleep where you slowly tense all your muscles as much as you can, then release the tension all at once. I was amazed at how much more relaxed I felt when I tried it. Years later I realized this was basically mimicking what happens when you orgasm, without the sex part. So, take that as you will, but hey, it works either way. No wonder orgasms make me tired. All that running tires a person out. Wearing thinner socks stopped me getting blisters in my new shoes that were a little big. Told my sister that my new shoes were giving me blisters, and she looked at my feet and very matter-of-factly said it's the socks. Too thick. Kinda like that scene in Road to El Dorado. Anyway, I was like, nah, that's just some old whiffy crap. Nope, it worked. Here's the real blister LPT. Wear 2 pair of socks. Put the first pair on inside out, and the second pair over them normally. It takes the friction away from your foot and the sock, and puts it between the socks. We used to do it at football camp, to prevent blisters, and works like a charm. Use dry sheet to remove deodorant stains. And tuck it into your socks to repel chiggers. What are chiggers? Basically a herd of aphids that burrow into your skin and poop acid, leaving burns all over the southern USA. Jesus. Well, that's no good. Gently stuffing a chicken's head under its wing and moving it in a circle exactly 3 times makes the chicken fall asleep. When I was a kid, I would lay one of my chickens on its side while gently holding them in place and slowly drag my finger on the ground back and forth in front of their face. I would let them go, and they would just lay there, not moving for a good minute. Then they would wake up and go back to their chicken business. Chicken business, I'm in. 1 cup vinegar. 1 cup original Listerine. 1 cup warm water. Let your feet soak for around 30 minutes. Then remove dead skin. Bam. No more cracked feet. Remove with what? Does it just naturally fall off with gentle rub, or do you need to go to town with a stone or some scraper? Need a good toe knife. Can I use my poop knife for this? If your nose is stuffy and you can't get it cleared, just do 10 push-ups and it will clear right up. You can blow your nose over and over, but for some reason this actually does a better job of clearing it up. I had no idea how it could work at first, so I was skeptical, but somehow it genuinely does work. Your nose plugs up as a bodily function. It's not the virus that does it, which is why normally one is plugged and the other isn't. When you get your heart moving, your body needs more oxygen now, which is more important for survival than the work on your sinuses. So it opens. This is also why in a minute you'll be plugged up again when your heart rate settles. When I was a little kid, I was playing in my dad's office while he was in a meeting and was drawing dinosaurs on his dry erase board. Unfortunately, I was using permanent marker, and I got so scared I would get in trouble. I cried. His secretary heard the commotion, and was nice enough to show me that, if you draw over the lines with a dry erase marker it'll all come off when you erase it. She was also nice enough to take me to the bakery across the street, and get me a cookie. That's the wholesomeness I'm looking for. Writing down goals does actually help me get them done more often. If you smoke too much weed, or overdo it with edibles, and are feeling too high, chew on a peppercorn and let it sit under your tongue for about a minute. You will feel fine in less than 5 minutes. If you are on edibles you may have to repeat this every 30 minutes to an hour, until you have metabolized all the THC. You can also just smell some ground pepper, but it takes a bit longer, and does not last as long. This works because a substance in black pepper called piperine blocks cannabis receptors. I had no idea. I'm throwing away the black pepper. If your car has a dent, pour boiling water on it, then use a toilet plunger to pop it back into place. I saw it on Reddit a while back. A hairdryer also works for providing the heat. And a dildo with a suction cup works if you don't have a plunger. Stop fucking with my truck. Salt on anything sour makes it taste less sour and more sweet. Had an orange the other day that was really sour. Coworker told me to try adding a bit of salt to it as it would counter the sour and make it taste a little sweet. I believe I actually said out loud, holy crap. That actually worked. If you want to know if the egg is boiled, spin it on a table and stop it with your hand for just a short moment. Then let it go again immediately. If it stops, it's boiled. If it keeps rotating, it's raw. The liquid inside has momentum. Also, when you spin it, a raw egg will spin slowly, and a boiled one will spin quicker. It's harder to build the momentum in the liquid. Pouring hot water on the remaining wax on finished candles. The wax melts and floats to the top, so you can just reach in and take it out, and your candle jar is clean, to be repurposed or recycled. Sounds simple, but as an avid candle burner it changed my life. Apparently squatting does make it easier for you to shit. But if actual squat toilets are too weird / gross / inconvenient for you, you get the same effect by putting a footstool in front of a normal toilet and leaning forward while taking a dump. You don't have to buy a squatty potty. Link in description. A regular stool, pun intended, works just fine. Confirm. Buying a squatty potty and a bidet has made pooping a much better experience. That sounds good. Pooing has always been a shitty experience for me. When you're doing a spot the difference challenge and the two pictures are next to each other, you can cross your eyes to merge the two images and the differences will sort of flash. It's hard to explain, but here's a link. Link in description.